everybody, and welcome to another edition of Poland Daily Travel. It's good to see you. With me in the studio is Nicholas Richardson.
Delighted to be here as ever.
Yep, good to see you, Nicholas. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure.
And we have Patrick Patterson in beautiful downtown Kiev. Hi, Patrick. How are you?
I'm feeling patriotic with the American flag behind me.
You got an American flag behind you. There you are. Good. There's three places I love, and I'm learning to love Ukraine, where I've been there many times. That's Poland, Great Britain, and the United States. They're pretty good places in my book. Now, actually the best places in my book, but, you know, I'm prejudiced. What can I say? Ukraine, a place I've visited about 36 times, I would say, since 2005, and you're living there. And Nicholas is very curious about what it's like. Nicholas, you had a couple of questions.
Yes, I was just wondering, Patrick, what daily life is like in a city which is under regular missile attack.
You know, ironically, it's pretty normal until you find yourself under those missile attacks. I mean, you have your propaganda posters that are littered throughout the city. You know, you can tell that there's a war, but you feel pretty safe during the day. I go to cafes, I work, I went on a hike yesterday in the botanical gardens, ate dinner, and life is pretty normal until the air siren goes off and missiles start falling from the sky.
I'm guessing that this may be the most sustained blitz since World War II on London.
Yes, seems to be. It must be.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of another example.
There hasn't been one, I don't think.
Where it's gone on and there's been this...
Even in former Yugoslavia, it wasn't like this.
Well, not the constant...
Not the constant of...
in different cities. This is really a World War II type of thing.
Well, it's the only way the Russians know how to fight wars, it seems. Just destroy everything.
That's a good point. The destruction is immense. And on my talk show, we were talking about the terrorism of Vladimir Putin. And one contributor, Anthony McFarlane Gonzalez, ex-Special Forces, was comparing Putin to Osama bin Laden and saying that Putin was actually less honorable and worse, if you can imagine. He did explain himself.
It's always very difficult, isn't it, to grade dictators on a scale of who's worse than any other.
Or madmen.
Or madmen. Yeah,
although I'm tired of people saying that when you see the evidence of the sort of things that are going on in Ukraine, and particularly in Kiev last night, which we've been talking about with Patrick, who spent the last night under bombardment by the Russians. You know, I don't think there's any way you accept that. No. It really gets my goat when people start saying it does more than that, but that's all I can say on this show. It gets to me in a major way when people start to apologize for Putin and his antics.
Well, you see, this is part and parcel of, there's always been, going back to the year dot, the left are always apologizing for left-wing scoundrels. I mean, there were people who apologized for Stalin, and, you know, if only we'd had more...
George Bernard Shaw.
Exactly.
I've seen the future and it worked.
Exactly.
But let's go back to Patrick, though. This is a good point. Patrick, what's the feeling towards the Russians in Kiev? I mean, you know, do you have words to describe it?
I don't. Pure hatred. Deaths to Putin. Deaths to Russians. People are past the point of understanding. You know, and this isn't their first. You know, they've lived with this. Not like this, but you know, I spoke to a woman in the Chernihiv region this past week, and her father was killed during World War II. Her parents and grandparents lived through the Great Famine and with Stalin. And here she is, you know, she's close to 90 now, and she's living in another war. The village next to her was occupied.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is the thing that it's hard to, I suppose, relate to people who haven't read the history, is that this is something that's been continuing for a very, very long time. I mean, they say that Ukraine's history is intertwined with Russia's history. The first Russian state being Kievan Rus, the 9th to 13th centuries.
Not surprised.
What?
And it wasn't.
We're losing you, Patrick.
I mean,
Let me just take
Right
this
there.
because we've got to end this episode. Let me just and we'll come back to you. Just the point is that Kiev has been the center of the beginning of the Russians, and it may be the center of their end. Only time will tell. Thanks for watching Poland Daily Travel. We're doing a little adventure travel or wartime travel. Thanks to Patrick Patterson in Kiev, and thank you to Nicholas Richardson in the
A pleasure.
studio. Thanks very much. And we'll see you tomorrow.